Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Chasing Optimum. Well, I'm going to go rough and ready today, Jack. I just finished ice bath, red light bed, cardio. Now I'm here. So I've had no shower, no hair done, no nothing. We're just going to roll with it. No oil, no nothing. I think this whole journey of health, chasing optimum, all this sort of stuff, finding your best, I'd like to talk about the practicality of it because it's not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of effort and discipline and consistency. And how do you actually do it all, like fit it all in? I have this thing, do what you can until you can do more. Like today is a good example. I just squeezed 20 minutes on the Stairmaster in while you were editing a video. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. And that's a little bit of an example of how this whole thing is. Excuse me, Jackson. The hardest part is when you start and then you can hear all this info about, cut this out of your diet, do this exercise, go to bed at this time. But if you've been living a completely different way for a long time, that's not actually practical. That's not going to be an easy thing to do. What I would say is do one thing that you can do, that you can stick to. This whole journey of mine started with 30 minutes on the treadmill. I think we did that on a podcast recently, Jack, somewhere. But this whole journey of rebuilding myself to where I am today, so it's years down the track, since about 43, and I'm 50. I'm 53 in a month. Gee, I'm getting senior citizen level now. But 43 it started, and I just did 30 minutes on the treadmill every day, and that's what I could commit to, nothing else. And I didn't know much else either. I just wanted to get a little bit fitter, a bit healthier. So it's about changing your habits just as much as it is doing the thing, because if you don't change your habits, you won't stick to it. You'll get a burst of excitement, you'll go join a gym, you'll get into it for a little bit, and 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, a month later, you're not there anymore and you stop. It's because your habits, you haven't trained your habits properly and taken it slowly. I'd rather take a slower, longer approach than I'm going to pull everything apart and I'm going to start living this way and everything around you will be really hard to manage and you just won't stick to it. So remember, do what you can until you can do more. One of the things that was interesting, Jack, when we did the recent night routine video, people were saying, oh yeah, 4 hours, like who has 4 hours at night? That video isn't exactly how it looks because there's things in the middle. I actually make Tara and Summer dinner. I feed Summer most nights, not always. Well, Tara and I share. I feed Summer breakfast every morning. I work around all of this stuff. So I'm not just ignoring the rest of my life and then, sorry about getting the phlegm out of my throat, but I'm not ignoring the rest of my life. I'm squeezing it in the gaps where I can. But definitely after 7:30, when Summer's taken care of, like I bathed her last night, Tara did some other stuff. It's not that I want to do, I'm not amazing with kids, as you know, Jackson. You're one of my kids. I'm not amazing. But as I've got older, I can see that I've got to contribute. I've got to make that part of my life so we stay connected. Otherwise, things fall apart if you don't, as Tara says, water the garden, both in a relationship and with a family. I am a bit self-driven. I have to admit. I am a bit self-driven, but I've been, I think it comes from a lot when I was younger. I just had myself. I had to just work it out. I didn't have really good mentors or coaches or people showing me the way. Literally, even in real estate, I just worked it out as I went. So I've always sort of relied on me, and I've got a bit of that in me. Like, get out of my way, I'll just do this at all cost. But as I've got older, I can see you don't exactly need to do that. If you've got the right guidance and you can get a little bit of info along the way, it can save you a lot of time, a lot of stuff ups. So what I would say is find someone that inspires you, learn from them, just see what they're doing, watch what they're doing. If there's something that you like to do, like we just did a video this morning on cutting dairy out. Now, if you've been eating dairy for 30 years, you're not just probably going to stop eating dairy today and go, oh, that's all fixed. Like it's going to be a bit of a journey. You've got to build the muscle. Whatever you do, you've got to build the muscle for that. So you're going to stop it, then you'll probably go back to it, and stop it and go back to it, and it'll get less and less. And as you can see more benefit, you might get more enthused to stop doing that thing because your skin's changing, your energy's changing, your mucus. I don't drink milk, but I've got mucus today. But it's like, you're slowly getting there. And I like concentrating on one thing. So what's the one thing you can do today that you're going to start building the muscle around? I call it the next piece of the puzzle. I'm always saying to Tommy, what is the next piece of the puzzle for my health journey? Because I get used to doing that thing, becomes a bit of a routine. I start feeling weird if I don't do it. That's when you know your habits have changed, when you start feeling a bit weird because you haven't done it. So that's when you're like, okay, it's becoming a part of you. And when you get to that point, keep doing it. And then you start thinking about what's the next piece of the puzzle. So in the mornings, and I'm trying to be real about this, like the time is difficult. So we've all got demands on us, but as many people know, in the morning routine, I have a deluxe morning routine, which is get up in the morning. I don't wake up with an alarm clock either. I wake up when I'm naturally ready to wake up. I woke up at 4:45 this morning and I just wasn't in sync with universal energies. I could feel it. I was a bit out of sync. And I came down to the garage to start writing the book that I'm doing, the third book that I'm doing. I think it's going to be a good one, by the way, Jay. Hope so. Taking a long time. I'd say. So I write it every morning and I come down, went to start writing, just was not quite in the zone. So I went back to bed, got up at 6 o'clock. I canned writing the book this morning because it just didn't fit into the time frame. You and I had stuff to do and I had to modify the morning routine. So I never wake up with an alarm clock. Wake up naturally because then your body's ready to go. A deluxe morning routine for me would be, let's forget about writing the book because that's not going to be around forever, but it would be breathing, ice bath, red light bed, half an hour, ice bath 6 minutes. So breathing lasts about 7 or 8 minutes, ice bath 6 minutes, red light bed, half an hour, 35 minutes of cardio. That would be a deluxe morning routine for me. If I don't have enough time and it's more about feeling, I don't like jamming things in and rushing. Rushing is the opposite of being in the zone. So I try and avoid that at all costs. I'd rather not do something than rush. The medium one, I just move it around. So it's always breathing and ice bath. They're non-negotiables. And then it would be, I'd probably choose red light bed. I swap it, but I do red light bed every second day. If I didn't have enough time, I'd just do quick cardio or something like that, like on the Stairmaster, and that's it. And I just modify that. And the express one, if I've got no time, I will do breathing and a 3-minute ice bath, and that's the express one. In, out, done, off I go for the day, depending on what the day holds. So I've sort of got my mornings down pat. I get up at the right time, I go to bed at the right time. But if you don't have the right sleep routine as well, you're gonna not feel as good in the morning. So going to bed and sleeping well, having a good sleep routine is actually going to affect your energy the next morning. So out of all that, let's say you wanted to start a morning routine and you don't have one. It could literally be just going to bed on time at 9:30 at the latest. 9 o'clock's better, but 9:30 at the latest, and naturally waking up and training yourself to wake up at a time that's appropriate for you. Mine's usually 5:30, somewhere around there. If I wake up at 5:30, I find that's the sort of sweet spot. But if I go to bed later at 10:30, I'll probably wake up at 6:30. You've got this sort of range that your body naturally wakes up in. Just that one thing alone could be the difference between you having an awesome day or an average day, energetically. So that might be the first thing for you, rather than having this full morning routine. And then the next part is, what's the next piece of the puzzle? So you might want to have a cold shower in the morning. You might not have an ice bath, like if you don't have one. Just have a cold shower in the morning for 30 seconds. Make that the next part. And do that for a while and get really used to it. And then you might want to increase the cold shower to 1 minute and do that for a while and hover there. And then at some point you might want to do breathing. It took me a while to do breathing. I didn't like it. Felt like it was just forced or something. So it took me years to actually get breathing into my morning routine and stick to it. I tried it and then I'd forget about it because I didn't really like it. One of the things that you've got to do is like what you're doing. If you like it and you're enthused by it, you'll do it. You'll more than likely do it. That's why you can't do it too much too soon, because it becomes like a chore. It becomes like you don't get pumped up by it. You want to have enough space around things so you can do it and focus and be present there. That's why I've got 3 different morning routines. And then the day begins, off it goes. The way you eat, like there's nutrition, there's morning routine, night routine, sleep routine, all of these things. But then in the day, you might just pick one thing where you're going to say, I'm going to prepare my food for the middle of the day and just eat that. And like I only eat 2 meals a day, but for most of my life, I've eaten 3 or 4 or 5 or all these sorts of things. Now I've found something that works really well and I can maintain it well. But Tara doesn't want me to come home. I used to come home every day, pretty much at lunchtime. But because Summer sleeps in the middle of the day now, I've had to modify it and I prepare my food before I go to work so I can concentrate and it's done. If I have it prepared, I'll eat it, pull over on the side of the road, take my time and eat it. And I actually book an appointment for 30 minutes in my diary to eat the food at 12:30. If I've done that, I'm going to feel better around it. And I can just stick to that. Just stick to having that. And that could be the next piece of the puzzle for you. Hand making your quality 1 ingredient food, make the meal phenomenal. And then that's the next piece of the puzzle. That's all you need to do. What is the next step until you can do more? The other thing I really like to share with you is don't look at other people and because sometimes it's an illusion with time. I have 7 people in my team that help me. So yeah, I own a company that's, a decent size, but I also work in a company selling houses, but we have a team of 7, me, Trev, Jordan, Ash, blah, blah, blah. I have a lot of people protecting my time. So if you don't, and like me 15 years ago, I had no time, 0 time. I was doing I still had people with me, but nothing like the great team that I have today. So I have so much stuff off my plate and I'm constantly delegating all day so I can free my time up. So don't be too hard on yourself, but I've worked if you don't have the time and feel like, how am I supposed to fit all this stuff in? Maybe you're not right now. Maybe you're looking for the small gaps that you can do a bit. 5 minutes on the Stairmaster. And if you don't have a Stairmaster and you got to go to the gym, maybe that could be a good goal for you to save up and buy a Stairmaster so it's convenient at home. And it makes life, that's the next part, makes life a little bit easier. You've got a bit more time then. I have 2 gyms, one at home that sort of is set up for Tara, cardio stuff, and I have another gym at the factory, which is about 45 minutes away. But I can go there and I can work in between sets. It's the same thing. Like I go there every day at like 3 o'clock, 3:30, and I work in between each set. Just because I'm at the factory doesn't mean work turns off, but my team can protect my time a little bit. So be real about it. Be real about what's practical for you and what's not. And then also have a bit of a vision of how would you like your ideal life to be? Like, what does that look like? Is it forming a team at your work? Is it, having people that can help you? Is it getting a nanny to help you if you're a mum and you've got kids? I don't know. Anything is possible, but that's how I'm always thinking. How can I design it so I end up having this life that I absolutely love, that I can do all the things that keep moving myself forward, not at the cost of myself, like as in, I know what it feels like to work around the clock and have no time. I was deeply unhappy, unhealthy and unhappy, deeply. I can't even begin to tell you. I'd almost want to cry some days because of the levels of the relentless level of stress that I would be under every day. Look good on the outside, number 1 at real estate, doing my thing, dying, crumbling, broken on the inside. That's why I wanted to make change. And I was like, what can I do? even when I started this, 30 minutes on the treadmill seemed impossible from time management perspective. Almost impossible. I was like, when am I supposed to get 30 minutes? I literally have back-to-back appointments every day, all day, plus more. But then I was like, I've just got to do it. And I made it happen, like literally said that appointment. And I saw it as that appointment's one of the most important appointments of the day. So if I had to take Jackson to hospital or any one of my kids, you wouldn't let people take that appointment off of you because you got to be there. You have to be there. And I saw it the same way. So I started seeing me as one of the most important appointments every day to fuel myself because I was empty, completely empty. I needed to fuel the tank inside of me so I could give to others and perform at my best. That was 10 years ago now. And then on top of that, I'm like, okay, if I want to do this and add this, how do I get the time for it? What needs to be delegated? Who needs to do that? Help me do that. How do I protect that bit of time? Might not happen straight away. It might take you a year to get in a rhythm where life starts working around that one thing. It could be a walk in the morning. Might seem impossible for you now, but how can you get the help or how can you reconstruct your life to start working around that thing? And it might be a little bit, until eventually you come up with, Stormy is barking her head off out there, until eventually your life starts working around it. You just got to keep on it, keep trying. Go for the walk. Some days you're going to, some days you're not going to be able to. But if you keep focused on how do I get this to work? And squeeze it into the gap. Like today, 20 minutes spare, boom, straight on the Stairmaster. I didn't choose sitting on social media. I didn't choose watching TV or doing anything else. I went, I've got 20 spare minutes, boom, on the Stairmaster. You got to prioritize some of this stuff because time can get away from you. Time can be it's only going to be how you use it. And I just prioritize health, relationship, family, work, all in that order. And anything else I try not to do. I don't go out too much. I don't do other things I don't really want to do. I make sure I use the time wisely. We all get the same amount of time. And it's how you use it that's going to determine the results. So if you're listening to this and you just want more out of life, you can do it, but have a longer term view. Have a view around, I just need to do this one bit now and try and stick to it. It might just be cutting sugar out of your diet, something. It might be going for a walk. It could be just getting to bed on time, cutting alcohol out of your diet, things like this. What's the next piece of the puzzle for you? And then try and stick to it. Learn to build the muscle of consistency in that one thing. And then what will happen is the next thing that you bring in, you'll be a little bit stronger protecting it. And then the little bit stronger than protecting it. And over time, you'll be so good at protecting the thing that you bring in, it'll just naturally be protected by your focus of consistency, and saying no to things and saying yes to things will become your complete focus. I think success is built more on what you say no to than you say yes to.